I'm Scott Allen Miller. It is the 7th of April, 2022. This is my daily vlog of life in Nicaragua, and I'm here in León, and you may notice, because I film here a lot, the benches are a little bit brighter than they used to be, and that's because they've gone through town repainting everything, the curbs, the benches, everything to get ready for Semana Santa, which starts this week. And so this is the time that the whole country starts preparing for just the tourists to come out, and it's the local tourists. It's not foreigners. Like, really just about no foreigners come here for Semana Santa, because Semana Santa is Easter, so it's not an event that really brings people from very far afield, but it's perfect for the locals to go out because you get a long week, and everybody goes out and does stuff, and everybody has a lot of time off work. So this is really starting today, is kind of when things kick off. Technically, Semana Santa starts on Sunday, but really the events start today, and it started today with a big parade right in front of our house, coming past the house. So I got out and did as much as I could to record the parade for you, and I think we got a bit. It's really interesting. And so the parade came by for quite some time. This went on for a bit. This is a big thing. They do a procession, and they do the recreation of the crucifixion. So this kicks off the Easter Holy Week. This is Holy Thursday, and this is where it all starts. Now tomorrow, I'm told that they're going to be doing the artwork in the streets. I ran into my friend Belinda today, and she said, yeah, tomorrow we're blocking off at 7 o'clock in the morning, and the whole day the school is out, and they're all gonna go down and do this artwork in the streets, and then that'll, you know, that's a big thing here in Central America. It's famously done in Guatemala, in Antigua. They do a big display. Everybody knows about that one, but the whole region does it, and León takes this very seriously and has a lot going on in all the different neighborhoods they're doing this. So I'm gonna do my best tomorrow to get out and film in Laborio, so you can see the Laborio Guadalupe artwork that's going on the street. Should be really interesting. It's something special that I've never seen before. Certainly not something I've shown on the channel. Should be a lot of fun. So in other news today, we did tonight play The Secret of the Old Clock, as I had hoped. We started it last night. As I mentioned yesterday, I didn't know if we were going to get to. We did start that. We played a little bit last night, not too much, maybe an hour, maybe two, I'm not sure. And then today we decided that we wanted to get through it, and we played the rest of Nancy Drew, Secret of the Old Clock. Now, just mentioning that game, say, well, okay, it's another Nancy Drew, it's your 21st one, like, that's interesting, whatever, but what's special about that? This one's really cool. As we go through the series, they're mostly based on a combination of the rewrites of Nancy Drew, in which Nancy was converted to be 18 years old instead of 16. The original books in the 1930s, she was 16, but later in like the 1950s, 1960s, they said, well, she goes on these adventures, and we no longer consider it appropriate for a 16-year-old to do these things. You would have to be an older adult, and so they changed her age to make her an adult at that era. And it changed the tones of the book a bit. And they are also more violent in the original, and they lightened that up too. The video games are generally based on the fact that she is 18 and then updated for the 20th century, so she has a cell phone and things like that, and sometimes encounters computers. So they've done these things to update it. But in The Secret of the Old Clock, which is, I think, the 13th game in the video game series, it is the first book in the book series, and the only one that I've ever read, at least at this point. I thought it was really cool that in this video game, they turned back the clock and they did it as the original. So they had her 16 instead of 18. They made it her first adventure. It says, you know, I've never solved a mystery before. I've never done any of these things before. And they set it in 1930. So the whole game takes place exactly like the original book. That was really cool. That huge vote on that game for me in the series. This is one of the better ones. Like, good characters, good writing, and the whole keeping it true to the original is a huge plus. That was fantastic. So we really enjoyed this one. It was a lot of fun because of how well it was done, and it was a lot of fun because it gave us this nostalgic look at the game. So loved that. This evening, before we did that, I had salsa lessons down here in Laborio. That was exhausting, but it did go well. Both Dominica and Yvonne were able to make it with me tonight. It's one of the few times we were all able to make it. Next week, we can't make it at all because they're partially down for Semana Santa, and the one time that they have class, we have a concert at the hotel and we need to be there. So we're gonna miss it all next week, which is unfortunate, but we do have a salsa event coming up this weekend at the hotel, which by the time this gets posted will have already happened. But we have this cool salsa thing going on that I hope to bring to you in a couple days. The other bit of news we have today is that our friend Kat from Dallas, who has been saying she wanted to come visit, but it's like, yeah, of course, someday she'll come visit. No, she has rented out her house. It is done. She has basically wrapped up everything in her life, more or less. She has already purchased a ticket on our flight to Costa Rica in May, because we're going, if you watch the channel, we're going to Costa Rica at the beginning of May on the 4th. Then we're flying to the United States. We're going to Texas, spending a week and a half dealing with logistics and paperwork and legal and banking and family and all that kind of stuff there. Then we're hopping on a plane back to Costa Rica and then re-entering Nicaragua by land, because sometimes it just makes it easier. She's on our flight back with no return ticket. So she's coming maybe for 6 months. We have no idea. This is crazy. I can't believe Kat's actually coming to Nicaragua and coming to Nicaragua. Not like, oh, I'm coming for a few days, I've got a return ticket, I'll stay in a hotel and maybe we'll hang out. No, she is coming to move into one of the apartments that we have with the house, and no plans on what she's doing with her life other than figuring it out while she's in Nicaragua. So, wow, that's absolutely huge, life-changing for everybody. Like, that's gonna be really interesting. So for probably a minimum of 3 months, and I bet 6 months, Kat's gonna be living here in Leon, and this is gonna be wild. So that is huge news today. It's gonna make for some interesting stuff on the channel. I really hope I can get her here on the channel and do some talking of like, what's it like coming to Nicaragua as a first-time traveler to Central America. She's only been to Mexico a tiny bit with Dominica when they did some stuff in Tijuana. So they barely scratched going into a foreign country. This is going to be epic. Her first time like really going to a foreign country. Definitely her first time in Central America. Certainly her first time in Nicaragua. So it's going to be interesting to be able to be like, what do you think of these different things? What's your impression? How do you feel about it? That's going to be really interesting. So that's going to be about a month before you guys start to see that stuff. And the cutest dog just showed up. I'm just gonna get this dog. He's so cute. Oh my gosh. And yeah, stay tuned, because for all of you, because there's a lot of you who are interested in what it's like moving to Nicaragua, I want to do some interviews with some people who've been here for a while, like Paul and Dominica, Alan, but our perspective is different because we've been here for a while. We're past the shock kind of stuff. Especially Dominica and I, who have lived here previously and lived in other Central American countries, like it's nothing. But for someone who's brand new, no experience, just showing up in Nicaragua, I really want to get her perspective, because I think it'll be really interesting to see what she thinks of the whole Nicaraguan experience. Thanks, I'm going to see all of you tomorrow. Stay tuned for awesome street art. Remember to like, subscribe, and share on social media. Go ahead, wait, I'm just going to... It's like the Facebook link. I'm not sure. It's like down there. Maybe it's up here. Just Facebook, Twitter, something. Good? All right. See you tomorrow.